I'm Zayd Haji. If you're here, you're tired of distraction, tired of empty productivity promises, tired of feeling stuck. Let's drop the lies and get real. This isn't about quick fixes. It's about fighting for your focus, your future, and your freedom in a world designed to steal your attention. Ready to challenge everything you think you know about productivity? Then let's begin. Today, let's have a real talk, a proper, uncomfortable, soul-searching brainstorming session on student productivity. Not the sanitized, airbrushed version peddled in best-selling planners and shiny YouTube videos, but the unvarnished ground reality version. The kind where you wake up tired, where motivation phrase screens tug at your brain and everyone around you seems just as lost. If you're a student, you know exactly what I mean because I've walked that battleground too. Let's drop the act. Productivity isn't some neatly wrapped box of hacks and mantras. It's a survival skill, a competitive edge, maybe even a rebellious act in a world that profits off your distraction. And if I sound intense, it's because nobody else is going to be this honest with you, not your school, not the apps, and certainly not the endless torrent of viral how to get your life together in 7 days trends on social media. The crisis. Why student productivity is under siege. Let's face it, the real picture of student life today isn't pretty. We're talking relentless pressure, a syllabus that swells every year, family expectations, uncertainty about the future, and that addictive black mirror in your pocket called a phone. The number of notifications you get in a single day would have looked insane to your parents. This isn't failure, it's the world changing fast and nobody giving you the rule book on how to win. If we're serious about productivity, we have to be brutally honest. The true enemy is your fractured attention span. And yet somehow, week after week, we expect ourselves to just focus in the storm. That's not a strategy. That's setting yourself up to fail and then blaming your willpower when it happens. The problem with screen time. Let's address the elephant in the room, screen time. Everyone says, just limit your phone usage. That's rich, coming from schools and colleges that demand you check online updates, join a dozen WhatsApp groups, and upload every assignment to 5 apps. Our screens are the primary tool for study, but also the enemy of deep work. This is a modern paradox. The worse your attention span gets, the more you need your devices, the harder it is to reclaim control. If you're wondering why you can't concentrate, why every reading feels like slogging through mud, why 5 minutes turns into 50 on TikTok or Insta, there's a reason. Apps are designed to hijack your dopamine and fragment your mind. It's not a lack of intellect, discipline, or character. It's tech versus biology, and unless you build a real strategy, biology loses. The attention span crisis. No one is born with a short attention span. We train it by feeding the beast of instant gratification, scrolling, swiping, switching. Multitasking. Science has already shown it's a myth for almost everyone. Each little switch, each quick check of the phone costs brain energy and kills deep concentration. No wonder at the end of a supposedly busy day we have nothing meaningful to show. So if you feel scattered, it's not just you, it's the times we live in. The solution isn't to shame yourself, but to get strategic and even a bit ruthless with the way you work. Ground reality, the real obstacles. Let's brainstorm and lay out the ground reality obstacles standing between you and meaningful productivity. Digital overload, classes, homework, exam prep, all now online, plus the bottomless feeds of entertainment and distraction. Fragmented study, constant interruptions, family, friends, messages, even teachers who expect instant responses. Never-ending lists. The actual weight of managing multiple subjects, tests, deadlines, and college or career worries. Emotional burnout. Anxiety, fear of missing out, FOMO, social comparison, and the sense that everyone else is coping better than you. Recognizing these as systemic, not personal failures is the first step. You can't win a war if you don't know who the enemy is. Deep Work by Newport, a manifesto for the brave. Now, how do we fight back? I want you to imagine for a moment a student sitting in absolute silence. Phone gone, browser tabs closed except for the one she needs, a timer ticking on the desk, and a single-minded focus that almost looks like meditation. That is the state Newport calls deep work, a state where the brain shuts out chaos, builds insight, learns faster, and delivers output that others can't match. Let's be blunt. Deep was rare because it's hard. Everything around you is designed to seduce you into shallow work. But if you as a student can build even 30 to 90 minutes a day of deep work, you'll see a transformation, grades, skills, and self-confidence all skyrocket. Solution: make distraction impossible. The hack isn't willpower, it's environment. Put your phone on airplane mode and toss it in another room. Use web blockers. Make your study space intentionally boring, no notifications, no pop culture posters, just you and the task. Everyone thinks this sounds extreme, but it's actually freedom. Freedom from the endless ping-pong of anxiety and the fear of falling behind. Start small. Even a single session of true deep work per day changes what you're capable of. Your brain, like a muscle, needs to relearn stamina in this attention-starved world. You'll hate it at first. Your mind will beg for distraction. That's withdrawal. Push through it, and you'll find a kind of focus that's almost untouchable. Focus sprints over marathons. Forget all-night study sessions built on caffeine and regret. Instead, structure your study in short, intense sprints, 25 minutes of absolute concentration, then a real break, no screens. This Pomodoro-style rhythm is scientifically proven to boost attention span and memory. Over time, you'll need fewer breaks and your mental stamina rebuilds. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Small changes, massive results. Let's kill another myth that students need to summon motivation like some kind of mystical force. James Clear's Atomic Habits blows that myth apart. Here's the truth. Humans do what they've designed their environments and routines to allow. Habits are destiny. Solution: design habits. Don't just dream goals. If your goal is to study more, stop making big promises to yourself. Make it stupidly small. I will revise chemistry for 5 minutes after lunch. I'll write 1 page every night before bed. When you repeat this micro-action, the habit becomes automatic. The science is ironclad. Small repeated actions are the only path to big outcomes. The 2-minute rule. Here's how you trick your brain. Any task that can be done in under 2 minutes, do it now. I'll just read 1 paragraph. I'll just solve 2 questions. It's never about the tiny task, it's about breaking the inertia. Once you begin, the mind often wants to continue. Momentum isn't magic, it's biology. Stack habits piggybacking on what's automatic. Pair your new habit with an old one. After brushing your teeth, quiz yourself for 5 minutes. After your evening walk, recap the notes of the day. The more mindless it becomes, the more consistent you stay, especially when motivation runs dry. Eat the frog. Attack first, fear second. There's a dirty little secret nobody tells you. The hardest task of the day is almost always the one you avoid first. Procrastination is a master of disguise. It'll let you tinker with easier, less important tasks all day, so you can say, I've been productive. But the truth is, the big, ugly, necessary task, the frog, is still sitting there growing fangs. Solution: start with the hardest thing. List your key tasks the night before and put the hardest, most important one first. Do it before checking messages or opening any social feeds. Why? Because your brain starts the day with fresh willpower and focus. Once you take down the frog task, the mental burden lifts. You walk into the day lighter with a confidence that can't be faked. Celebrate uncomfortable victories. Every time you do a hard thing, instead of putting it off, you rewrite the story you tell yourself. Suddenly, you're not a procrastinator. You're the kind of person who meets challenges head on. Repeat this for a week and you'll feel the shift. Ground reality fixes facing what's broken. We can't hack productivity if we don't fix the basics. So here's what actually works, not because it's easy or ideal, but because it's honest, rooted in reality, and proven by students who battle the same storms as you. 1. Own your screen. Track your screen time for a week. Most are shocked. It's not academic work that eats hours, but 1,000 micro distractions. Use that data to prune, delete apps, turn off non-essential notifications, and schedule strict phone-free times. 2. Claim your space. Not everyone has a private study room, but everyone can claim an environment. Even a corner of a kitchen table works. Once you ritualize it for one purpose, study only, the brain understands in this space focus is the norm. Noise-canceling headphones or earplugs can help declare do not disturb to the world. 3. Honor sleep and energy. This is non-negotiable. Late night cramming is a short-term trick that kills long-term retention and mental health. Build unbreakable sleep rituals. If you can't concentrate, don't reach for coffee. Reach for water and sunlight. The brain can't focus if it's running on fumes. 4. Social leverage. Accountability wins over shame every time. Find a study buddy, someone who wants to grind with you. Check in, share progress, talk honestly about failure. The risk of letting someone down often beats the thrill of another notification binge. 5. Real rest, not just escapism. Scrolling isn't a break, it's just passive stimulation. Realize what fuels your energy, moving your body, 5 minutes of deep breathing, a stretch, a walk. Replace empty screen breaks with real body restoration. The difference is night and day, the psychological battle, accepting discomfort. Now, let's address the mental blockage. Nobody likes boredom, frustration, or the anxiety that flares when work gets real and hard. But here's where growth hides. The deep work, the true productivity, always feels difficult at first. The dopamine hits come from easy, addictive behaviors, but the pride, the capability, and the transformation come from pushing through discomfort. The world won't reward you for being comfortable. It rewards you for building skills, producing results, and learning to thrive in challenge. That's a harsh truth, and most people would rather avoid it and chase comfort. But if you're listening to this, I know there's a part of you that's hungry for more, ready for that discomfort, even if it means stumbling, failing, and trying again. Why it matters beyond exams to real life. So let's pull it all together. Why does this conversation matter? Because student productivity isn't just about surviving school or nailing the next GATE exam. It's about learning to master the most undervalued transferable skill in the world, genuine self-leadership. The ability to confront your distractions, build habits that last, fight for focus, and eat the frog. These are the same skills that turn students into innovators, leaders, and creators. Society is desperate for young people who don't just move with the tide, but who can stand upright, build something meaningful, and take charge when chaos hits. If you can win the war for your attention, manage your screen time, and build real systems of productivity, you're not just ahead academically, you're ahead at life. Last challenge, the choice that counts. Let's finish with a reality check. Nobody can do this work for you. Even the best hacks, books, and podcasts are useless as empty bottles unless you make the decision to fight for your best brain and your best future. Every single day, you're faced with a small choice: comfort or growth, distraction or discipline, reaction or action. You and we're not here to settle for ordinary. Reject the myth of passive scrolling, break the addiction to busyness, and step into discomfort. Prioritize deep work, architect habits so small they're impossible to skip, Eat the frog even when every instinct screams no, and protect the mind like the precious, irreplaceable tool it is. Because that's how real change begins. In the hidden, gritty moments when you choose to say, "Today I reclaim my focus. Today I build what others only dream about." That's the art, the fight, and the profound personal victory of student productivity. And that, my friend, is a reality worth living for. So here's where I want you and me to pause, step beyond the noise and reflect, because our struggle for real productivity isn't just a worldly fight. It is at its core a spiritual journey. Productivity isn't just about grades or jobs. It's about fulfilling purpose, honoring trust, and living as stewards of time and talent that Allah has granted us. You and I both know that in moments of deep distraction, of exhaustion, or of spiraling procrastination, what's really at stake isn't just achievement. It's our ability to answer the call that Allah in His wisdom placed upon every soul. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "By time indeed mankind is in law except for those who believe and do righteous deeds and advise each other to truth and advise each other to patience." Quran chapter 103 verses 1 to verse 3. I think about that ayah every time I catch myself wasting time or letting my attention slip. You and I are in loss unless we rise above simply existing, unless we become people who act, who build, who struggle for something more. The surah is terrifyingly direct. Belief alone isn't enough. We have to act, help each other, and show patience in struggle. That's the blueprint for productivity that matters. And here's the challenge. You and I both know that procrastination, distractions, and mental laziness aren't just academic flaws. They are missed opportunities to do good, missed hours in which we could earn Allah's pleasure. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us there are two blessings which many people lose. They are health and free time for doing good. Narrated by Ibn Abbas, Sahih Bukhari 64:12. So every unproductive hour, every wasted week isn't just a missed test. It's a moment gone forever, a piece of your free time lost, an opportunity for care, goodness you'll never get back. Our modern challenges, screen addiction, broken attention, superficial busyness, are nothing new at core. They are tests, distractions from remembrance, action, and fulfillment of trust. This is unambiguous and fully authenticated. Your health when you're young, capable, strong, and your spare time are among the greatest gifts you and I are blessed with, yet most people let them slip into waste and neglect. Follow this with clear, actionable advice from the Prophet's peace be upon him teachings. He said, "The strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than the weak believer, while there is good in both. Strive for that which will benefit you. Seek the help of Allah, and do not feel helpless." Sahih Muslim 2664. Every day you and I are told to take initiative, to use us, and to trust in Allah's help. There's no room for wasted time or wasted opportunities. Use your health, your youth, and your free time, not just to study, but to grow, serve, and strive for what truly benefits you and those around you. You and I have that free time now, that God-given strength, those untapped hours. True productivity in Islam isn't about slogging endlessly or burning out. It's designing your days so that every effort, study, helping family, even rest, and count as worship by intention. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Actions are judged by intentions." Narrated by Umar ibn al-Khattab, Sahih Bukhari 1. So when you sit alone with your books, when you struggle against the urge to waste time online, transform the moment by aligning your intention. Say quietly, "I intend to study so I may serve Allah, benefit His creation, and fulfill the trust He placed in me." Suddenly, even simple tasks become acts of worship. Even overcoming procrastination becomes jihadun nafs, striving against the soul. And there's comfort here too. If you and I stumble, if we fall back into distraction or fatigue or self-blame, remember that Allah is the most forgiving, the most merciful. He loves effort. He rewards even the smallest step. The Quran tells us, and that there is not for man except that good for which he strives, and that his effort will be seen. Quran chapter 53 verses 39 to verse 40. So embrace effort even if imperfect. Seek help from Allah in prayer, in dua, and reciting Quran for peace and discipline. The Prophet, peace be upon him, would ask, O Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge, good provision, and acceptable deeds. Sunnah Ibn Majah 925, graded Sahih. Let's make that our aspiration. Not just knowledge, but knowledge that transforms, not just grades, but deeds that change lives. Fight the war for your attention, knowing full well that angels are recording. Replace guilt with gratitude, distraction with zikr, remembrance, and passive scrolling with purposeful pursuit. When the world pushes you to waste your life in shallow work, you and I must push back with intention, reflection, and the conviction that true productivity is worship. It's the legacy we build, the trust we honor, and the answer we give on the day we return to our Creator. So my fellow fighter for focus and meaning, rise. Don't settle for mediocrity. Invite Allah into your intentions, chase excellence, and transform every struggle into spiritual growth. Because that is the ultimate productivity. That's what makes all this effort, these gritty, hidden moments, worth it. May Allah grant us sincerity, focus, and success in this world and the next. You and I both know no one owes us success. It's earned in hard choices, in struggling through discomfort, in mastering your time and mind. So don't settle for the easy way out. Fight for your focus. Make every moment count. This is your life, your legacy. I'm Zayd Haji. Go claim what's yours.